Ron.
See, I will speak to Luke and Ben about this. Hi guys, welcome to the very first interview with Moving the Spotlight. We want to bring our fans and people that give back to the community into the spotlights. This is what we're doing. So I am very pleased, and I need to look down now to introduce a really good friend of mine, which is Eugene. So bear with me, let me fix this. And here he is. He comes on. There he is. You're here,
Bonjour.
mate. Bonjour.
Bonjour,
And
Roxy.
yeah, so all right, how you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, good, good. I hear
Getting on with life?
a little Yorkshire accent there. Is that?
Oh, you noticed it already. Thank
And
you.
I'm loving the Blue Nation attire, buddy, and the the stuff in the background there, looking
Made an
very good.
effort. Made an effort.
I love it, mate. So Eugene kindly has said he's going to answer some of my questions. Some are going to be funny, mate. Some are going to be half serious. You know what we're like and stuff.
Well,
But I'll
we'll be
start.
the judge on the funny one, won't we, really?
Well, yeah, you know me. I talk too much as it is, so I'm going to try and stay quiet, mate. Because normally I'm the one getting asked all the questions. So remember, mate, just butt in and just tell me
Yeah.
to shut up. You know what it's like, yeah. Right, cool. So, how did you know us? When did you first kind of find Blue Nation, mate?
Ooh, what you're gonna ask me years now?
Mate, don't ask me the date. I don't know the date.
No,
To be
I
fair, I
think,
don't know where we turn up and play places, but I remember the gig. But I want you to see it from your point of view, and I'll tell it from my point of view.
well, okay. So when I first met you, gentlemen, was the Woolpack in Doncaster. The dates can't remember the dates, but I can remember the place basically.
I'm glad you came because I couldn't remember the place.
Yeah, it's called Woolpack in Doncaster, where my mother was from.
Nice.
It's probably. I mean, I've never been to any concerts in Doncaster. The only thing I'd ever done there was take my daughter and stuff like that to gymnastics things. So anyway, basically, I came across you guys through like YouTube and.
Was it YouTube?
I think it was YouTube.
Oh,
Facebook,
okay.
like suggestions and things like that.
Yeah.
It obviously knows the type of music that you're listening to, and it sort of come about like that. So I love to sort of try find things that I might like. If it suggests things, I'll go and listen to it. So I'll YouTube it and stuff like that. And it was, I think, I'd say old person, lack of memory, but it was that kind of sort of connection.
Mate, that's mad because I tell you why. I always forget that that's how some like people find us as well, and kind of check us out because I just thought you'd come to see live music because you'd probably do that anyway, mate. But do you know what I mean? Where you just like, but so you'd seen us on YouTube and thought, oh, yeah, I'll check out where they're playing. Oh man, that's class.
Let me just give a little bit of history of sort of
do it,
me and sort of my music ways, I suppose.
Yeah, cool. That'd be wicked.
I'm a massive John Peel fan back in the day, and I used to lay in my little bedroom. I used to listen to John Peel on like a Friday night.
Yeah.
Like the Thursdays.
Yeah.
That's why I quite love them a lot because it gives me something to look forward. I can remember coming back from school as like a teenager, thinking like Friday nights, getting Peely's on and listen to what's coming through and all the weird and wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
And who's the?
What kind of bands did you find then through that? Do you remember listening to like I don't know? And is there one that sticks out?
Half Man, Half Biscuit instantly jumps.
Really? No way. So you remember how you felt the first time you heard that, and then you were like, oh my god, I love this band.
Yeah,
That's mad.
But remember back in those days, the way to those days, if you heard me sound like an old git. Back in those days, you would what we have now with the media being able to search things. Don't forget, it's me going down to Woolworths. Half Man, Half Biscuit. Never heard of them. You know what I mean?
Mate, I went to Woolworths. My first single was I think it was Four Non Blondes. Do you remember that one?
Four Non Blondes, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling first single I bought, as in I've got my money. I've got a feeling it was Undertones, My Perfect Cousin.
Oh yes.
I think it's that one. First album I ever bought for myself, Blondie, Parallel Lines.
Oh, what an album though, mate.
I know, but it's you remember them ones because it's the first time you've got some money to go.
Yeah.
I got the first album ever bought for me at Christmas was Elvis' Greatest Hits.
See, normally people's like first thing is quite embarrassing. Four Non Blondes isn't great. I remember my first album was Aerosmith, Permanent Vacation.
Yeah, also. Yeah, so it's that's the kind of thing, and so it's like YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And then so I think I remember it was maybe Goodbye that I saw, and you were like at the front of the stage. You know what I mean? It was the camera work was at the front of the stage, and I thought I like that. So once you get something that you like, I go chasing, and then you find out more, and then it all snowballs, doesn't it? And then you like something, and you.
See, that was class because I never knew that. To be fair, all I knew was that we played this gig. Do you remember the blonde woman at that gig? Do you remember her? I don't think I've ever spoke to you about this. Because I remember when I came off the stage. Me? No, not nothing to do with you, mate. Don't worry, not getting you in trouble. It was.
Anyway, she's not looking now.
No, yeah, you good ladies like no. Remember there was some girls there. I came off the stage, and Luke remembers this to this day. And I was like playing guitar and stuff, and literally she just grabbed me, and like she just put her and I was like and I had to jump back on stage. Do you not remember that, or have I just literally made that
up? No. My main memory was chatting with the big heavy metal lad that was behind the bar. You know what I mean? The
proper
heavy guy, and sort of chit-chatting with him for ages, and then that idea I thought because I didn't pay to get into the gig, which was sort of I was expecting to do.
Yeah.
So I thought, that money that I would have given. So I thought that's why the reason for buying you. Putting the money
say that, mate, because that was that's how we met, wasn't it? So explain to the millions of people watching your lovely face what you did, because this still sticks with me today, and you're the only person that's ever done this for us. So I'll let you explain what you did, because it's amazing.
I was at the bar in the Woolpack, and I was chatting with the barman about the band. We were just talking about music in general, and hadn't paid to get into the concert, the gig. So I thought I'll use that money and I'll get the lads a drink. So I tried to be, stealth-like with the band. I says, look, when they come to get a drink later, tell them somebody sort of paid for a drink for them. But don't mention it. So obviously I put some money behind the bar for you to have a drink.
You did,
stuff like that. And then, unbeknown to me, he must have blabbed it all. The lad.
Well, to be fair to him, mate. To be fair, he executed that with perfection, right?
Yeah.
So I went up to the bar, and I was standing there. I said, "I'll have a pint or something," and he went, "Don't worry about it. It's all sorted." And I was like, "What do you mean it's all sorted? I'll pay," that kind of thing. And like Luke was with me, and Chris was like, "No, we'll pay." He goes, "No, it's all sorted." And we're like, "What do you mean it's all sorted?" Like we hadn't sorted out a rider or anything like that. He was like, what? And we just kept badgering him, to be honest, mate. We just were like, look, we want to pay for our drinks. We really appreciate it, but like what's going on? He goes, look, this guy wanted to give you a drink, but didn't want me to tell you who he is. And then obviously I was like a dog with a bone, mate. It's like, no, I want to know who he is. I want to know where he is. I want to thank him. And then he was like, all right, it's that man. And that's when I just like accosted you, mate, and just was like,
that man nearly slumped at the bar now.
Yeah, and drinking all the stuff. Yeah, and he was like, that's how I introduced you. Which, honestly, mate, it totally blew us all. And I honestly didn't know about the YouTube thing, and then that's how you found us. That's amazing. But it still sticks with me. Me and Luke still talk about that today, and like that photo we took with each other, that comes up in my memories and stuff like that. So it's
at the end. Well, I mean, and then you took the picture and you gave me the skin, the drum skin.
So we took that off the drums, and then we signed the drum skin, gave it to you as a kind of thank you, because it was kind of the only thing we had to kind of give you, to be honest, because we were like,
give me the shirt off your back.
Yeah, give me the shirt off my back. But literally, we went into the dressing room and like, look, we've got to give. Yeah, cause I don't think if we knew your name then, because we had the drinks. I was like, we've got to give this guy something. So Chris took his drum skin off, and we signed it and gave you that, mate. Because I thought, well, at least you've got something from that gig as well.
Yeah,
but no, it was wicked, man.
I was well made up. It's like, oh, jeepers. You get something for going in that.
And then a couple of years later, we're selling them on the merch store. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, happy days. I got some more questions for you, buddy. Let's do some quick fire ones as well. So,
go.
Who's your favourite member of Blue Nation?
Ron.
See, I was speaking to Luke and Ben about this, and I was like, we've now had bets on who's going to say which person. But all right, I'll give you that. Why is the manager the favourite?
Because he's sort of maybe the first one I met, maybe.
Oh, was he?
Technically, because I remember chit-chatting with him a bit.
Yeah.
At that Woolpack, and then me and Jono obviously chit-chatting with him whenever we can, and Jono loves to chew the fat.
I love Jono. He's class, man.
How's he doing? You know, when we went to Sheffield,
yeah, mate.
He adored that. We went to Sheffield, and I says, you know, we'll say hello to him, and then you come over and you sat with us, and he was like, what, you know?
Well, I know, yeah.
It's like, oh, and he likes. As soon as you mentioned talk to Luke, and you're talking about Mod Weller and stuff like that, and music, then he's off. You know what I mean? He's like,
he's just talking about stuff. That's how it should be, though, mate. Really, you know, it should be as we say. It's like, as I say on the streams, and Luke, is like, what you see is what you get with us as well. This is kind of why we wanted to do this, like moving the spotlight, because we love everyone that kind of follows us and stuff, and there's some key people that do some really like great work, and especially in these current times that I wanted to kind of highlight, and Luke did as well, and Ben, who said, look, why don't we do like a little interview thing where we can chat to them and then put that on the YouTube channel, and lo and behold, the first thing you say is, I found you on the YouTube channel, which is ace. So I've got more not serious questions for you, but just I want to know more about you, basically, because you know me, I talk too much, mate. So explain to me what your job is, because I think I've got an idea, but I think it's far more complex than I think it is. So tell me.
I'm classed as a perioperative practitioner, or if you look on Wikipedia type thing, it's called an ODP.
ODP, okay.
ODP.
And what does an ODP do?
Right, an ODP, an operating department practitioner, is a professional who works mainly in the operating theatre arena, as it were.
Okay, with you.
So you get ODPs that assist the anaesthetist. So during the part where you are anaesthetising the patient before they go onto the table for the surgery.
Yep.
That's a qualified part of the job where you assist the anaesthetist, you know, for the airway and the IVs and stuff like that. Yeah.
See, that's the bit I knew, right? That's the bit I was like, well, I'll be brutally honest. I think it's something to do with anaesthetists. was like in my head.
No, that's common enough, sort of.
But you do way more than that, mate. You must do way more than that kind of stuff. So what's the?
So that's one
element. Yeah.
One element of the job that you do, if that's what you're sort of specialising in. Or when I started to, you train to do everything.
Yeah.
But then people tend to sort of drift into sort of what they prefer to do and things like that. So the other section to it is the actual scrub part. So as you get you'll hear about scrub nurse.
Yeah.
Well, you also have the scrub ODP. They work alongside each other. There's a lot of ODPs that scrub. So they'll put the anaesthetic hat on, or they'll put a scrub hat on, or to assist as well. You have to run, so you have to have somebody who's sterile at the table doing assisting with the instruments for the surgeon.
Yeah,
and you have to have somebody who's a runner. So you've got to learn to know about what that person wants as well. So as the team, so you've got the anaesthetic section, and you've got the scrub person and the runner. Yeah, and they all come together to look after that patient and assist. So ODP assists anaesthetist during the procedure. Scrub ODP assists the surgeon during the procedure,
mate.
And then is it blossoming?
No, to be fair, mate, yeah, because I'm kind of you explain it how I think, which is kind of you breaking it down into my way of thinking. But
yeah,
this is why we wanted to do this and to have a chat, and you know we've got other people to chat to as well. Is because
there's more to it now, though.
Oh God, is it? Okay, sorry, mate. Go on, carry on.
No, that's fine. So that's basically as the perioperative is as the surgery's going on, right?
Yeah.
So post-operative, you've got to recover patients, haven't you?
Of course.
So also ODPs work in the recovery areas, and they, obviously wake the patients up and get them normal to go back to the
of
ward.
course.
So that's another area where they'll work. And then there's what I actually do on a day-to-day basis.
That's not your day-to-day?
No,
what you've just explained? Oh, my God, mate, go on.
I can do that, but my current role is a surgical first assistant. So I directly assist the surgeon during the procedure.
Wow.
So sometimes there's 3 of us at the table, the consultant, the registrar and myself, or sometimes the consultant and me, or sometimes the registrar and me if it's a sort of minor procedure.
Flipping heck, mate. And that's literally blown my mind, because I kind of thought you were in the operating, because I know we've had like brief conversations about it. But
yeah,
so you must have seen some like mind-blowing stuff yourself. I'm rubbish with blood. I can't. I've fainted, mate, at blood tests. Right.
You stuck your thumb after cutting it on the paper.
Yeah, literally.
Mimi needs to come.
I was like, Mimi, can you get me a plaster because I've hurt my thumb? I was like,
I'm sort of like the Mimi section. Somebody who comes and has to help.
The one that's got it all hanging together, mate. The one who does everything. So how do you cope, mate? Because this is one thing I never understand.
How do you cope?
How do you cope with being in a really, because that's got to be pretty tense and pretty kind of high pressure. So how do you cope with? I mean, because I'm sure some people have unfortunately passed away. I'm sure some people have got better. In fact, so how do you manage that in your life, mate?
How do you manage it? I think.
Yeah.
I suppose you have to. I don't know. It's a bit of a makeup of who you are.
Yeah.
That has to help. You know what I mean? You have to compartmentalize it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you don't break it down, if you can't be on top of a situation when it's an emergency, and you can't sort of you don't come away from it, but you have to stick to what you need, what you know that you got to do.
Yeah.
Say there's a bleed, somebody comes in bleeding, you know what I mean? There's certain things that as you're trained as a professional, you need that. You need that. You do that. You forget. It's a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's always there. But you've got to think, I need to do this.
Yeah.
X, Y, Z. Why? Because to come together, that will help that person.
So it just kind of kicks in.
When the pressure's gone, then that's when you can sort of relax a bit, and then the TLC part of you comes over, I suppose.
Yeah. So is it like? Because the only thing I can explain it to is if there's if I've been in a situation, like if I've been in a car crash, like when I was a kid and stuff, and no one was hurt, but you kind of, that fight or flight kicks in. What you're saying is your training kicks in, and you just get very, not meticulous, but right, I need to do this, I need to do this, and that keeps you kind of from going, oh my God, that's a lot of blood. Because that's how I would be.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
It's I suppose, again, sort of during surgery, when the dissecting and cutting and things like that, you're near major.
Easy, mate. I'm standing up. If I disappear, mate, then it's because I've just got the drains.
Again, if something becomes a spurter or bleeds, you don't go run away. Do you?
Yeah.
What do you do,
mate? Honestly, it's amazing. Honestly, I mean,
I could tell. There's lots of stories I could tell about sort of my 30 odd years working in theatres, but they're all there'll be similar kind of things. It's when those situations happen, you have to be professional, and that's what you're saying. That shutter comes down because you can get on with what what to do, and then once that pressure situation is released, then you can come back to I refer to as the TLC side of it.
Yeah. What was your path to this? Have you always been absolutely set on? I want to do this, or I want to help people. What was the trigger for you?
I'll jump on that bit. I think so, from being brought up, and I'm a dad. It's about putting other people first.
Yeah.
Helping people. So once I left school, once I'd done all my holidays with my mates, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It got to a point. I was working in an office. And then it was like, this is not going to be me. That was money to pay for my my holidays with my mates and the concerts, and general sort of like youth growing up type thing.
The usual, yeah.
Yeah, the usual. And then I decided, right, I need to do something for me in the future a bit, and carry on with that. But
yeah.
So my dad was a retired fireman,
mm-hmm.
and I always thought, I can see that as the that kind of job, where you can give yourself to work that helps people.
Yeah.
In roles that help people. So I tried for the fire service, and I got as far as did all the physical and stuff like that, and then got knocked back because of my eye. You had to have 20/20 vision, and there was a lot of people going for it. So I went and did some stuff with me, stuff with mates, electrician and stuff like that. And it used to be called the dole back in the day.
I remember it, mate. Don't worry.
My dad says, "Don't go on the dole. Don't go on the dole." He says, and he worked because he was retired. He worked in a hospital as a porter.
Yeah.
And he says across like a district general hospital across from where he was working. He said, "There's a job in the theatres going for 3 months." He says, "You might as well do that."
Yeah.
And so I said, "Yeah. Do as your dad told, gives you some advice, very good advice." So I go and work in operating theatres, operating department orderly, as they were called those days.
Oh my word,
and
mate.
Then basically we're like, "Oh, is this what goes on in hospitals? They're not doctors and nurses." And it's like, so that's it basically. Once I got hooked, went back to night school, got myself some qualifications that were required.
Yeah.
And then eventually got. It took me about 2.5 years to get on the ODP course.
So the studying was like 3 years at night school.
No,
or have you done more over the 30 years?
No, I went back to night school to get the qualifications to go on the course to be an ODP.
With you, sorry.
I tossed it off at school basically, so I had to get.
Screw that.
I didn't do that well at school. I didn't pay enough attention, so I went back to night school and got what was required.
That's fair enough. 2 questions now.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part of your job, and what's the best part of your job? So start with the hardest first.
The hardest part of the job.
Yeah.
Hardest part of the job is keeping everybody happy in the environment of the NHS at the moment.
I did not think about the kind of mental well-being of the people that work in it. How bad's that? Yeah. I didn't even think about it. So what kind of stuff happens?
In recent times, them guys that are doing the same job that are starting out on the profession and having to be put into redeployed into ICUs for these cases. I mean, I went along with them, but my age, maybe I could deal with them situations. I've come across death a bit more than they have. This is like, nah, man. You know what I mean? It was a little
young,
bit.
Though, isn't it? That's what age did you start then, mate? What age were you?
No, I think I was about either 24, 25, or.
That's still young though to kind of be exposed to that kind of. I mean, trauma is the only word I can think of, to be honest, buddy. That kind of trauma. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, I never forget the first child that I had to lay out, and that's what happens if somebody dies. You have to sort of when the body
passes over to the other side.
Sorry?
Passes over to the other side.
Well, yeah, I mean, I believe that. But,
I do as well, to be fair.
But it's called laying out. So you have to take all the lines out of people and cover them up, put bandages on, and put like a shroud on them, and get them. It's called. They have last officers boxes. They're called, where it has all the stuff in that allows you to clean the body and bandages. It's all there ready for when the situations happen. So I was probably about 24 when I came across probably my first direct death. I think he was about 6 years old.
Wow. And what went through your head? I wouldn't have been able to handle that in the slightest. So how did you handle that?
I don't know. I suppose. I think faith and my mum and dad.
Yeah.
Getting me here helps.
Mm.
And I think it's that basically. I put it down to them making me who I am today.
Yeah, instilling that inside you, that
yeah.
the belief, mate. But every single person, and I 10 out of 10, 100. If I spoke to 100 people, and they'd all say the same, say, yeah, but it's not about that. It's about the person. Or yeah, but what do you do? And then as a musician, and you giving people, it blows my mind that it's intrinsically the ethos you guys have is absolutely beautiful. So is that taught? Is that just something inside you, mate? I mean, I don't know. I'd love to tap into it. So
I think it's about your, how you brought up, and how you're taught to maybe respect other people, and therefore you can take that respect by giving. I'll use the word. If you love other people, then you can use that power where you need it.
I honestly take my hat off if I had a real hat off to you, because I couldn't do that job. I couldn't do the jobs that some of our fans do, and I do speak to it. And I feel incredibly privileged to know people like yourself, because, and I know it gets bandied around, I know you get shy about this, and you always try and say, no, Neil, and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, you guys are absolute heroes of what you do. And I know you don't see it like that. So how does that feel when someone, like, say that clap for heroes or that kind of stuff? How does that feel, mate, to you?
I'll clap for the person next to me.
Yeah.
Don't know why I'm clapping, obviously. I'll metaphorically clap inside for them anyway. So
yeah. What's the best part of your job, mate? What's the bit that makes you get up in the morning to do
it? What makes me get up in the morning to go to work? I do enjoy the job. I do enjoy the job and all the aspects of it. And I suppose ultimately it is, you are, in whichever way you can give of yourself, you're helping people.
Yeah.
So that's the job I want to do. So go do it.
How has this affected your role, or the pandemic affected your role in what you do?
I'd say it's only affected me when I get to work.
Okay.
As in some of the, I mean, I've never worked on ICUs before.
Yeah.
I know enough about them, but actually sort of dissolving yourself into that area when requested, that was a total change in what I do on a day-to-day basis. That's where it's changed. If that's answer to your question.
Yeah, it does, mate. No, that's exactly what I'm
doing. Them kind of roles are like totally not what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah,
but my skills can be implemented in those areas. Therefore, you can again give of yourself to help the ICU nurses who are run off their feet, and try not get in the way too much.
And how's the general feeling in where you work with the pandemic? And
during the breaks in the socially distanced coffee rooms, because we have to socially distance in the coffee room where we all used to, come and collapse and relax.
Yeah.
That's an example of that's changed. Where the coffee room was the sort of the go-to chill out, where it still is, but it's like we're still socially distanced, and we all have to wear masks, and we all have to wear. In fact, when we're in areas, you've got to wear sort of goggles, because
really?
It was very quiet in the coffee rooms in sort of March, April, May. People were very much in their own heads.
Yeah, totally.
What the going on? I was going to swear then. You know what I mean? It was a bit scary.
What's the one thing the public can do to kind of make your job easier? Is there stuff, or is it literally follow the guidelines? Is it, what?
I think it's definitely follow the guidelines. I mean, like I suppose, I don't know, just be more aware of other people around you when you're out doing your shopping and public transport and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I went to work yesterday. I go on the train because it snowed a bit and stuff like that. and when you're in the train station where where people come together, just have a spatial awareness. It amazes me that people don't have a spatial awareness.
Right there.
And they're like, so my escapism, I would say, is my cycling, actually.
Oh, yes. No, we have spoken about this in the past. Yeah. Because you do stupid flipping loads of miles, don't you, and stuff like that.
And well, when it's not snowing, I'll try.
Well, you do live up north,
fair,
mate.
I do some cycling, not as stupid as other people do. So I do my little bit, and it helps me. But I cycle to work every day. I cycle as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I go out with the guys when I can on the weekend, for long rides, socially type things. Not that you can do that anymore.
No. But is that...
So I miss that.
So is that... So obviously, you, mental health-wise for you, obviously you're exercising, you're doing all that kind of stuff, which is cool. But do you literally just zone out? Oh, yeah. See, I knew you would be. So do you just zone out and then just like, you get that, like a bit like how we do after gigs, like I will come off stage and be like, oh, I'm not going to sleep tonight because you just got the adrenaline going through. Is it that kind of feeling? Because I've never done cycling, mate. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a competitive type. So, but
Are you?
I'm competitive with myself. I'm competitive with myself. I used to play a lot of football back in the day, and but even when you're playing that, you've still got to be competitive within yourself to, mark your man and that,
Yeah.
Like, it is a personal thing. It's achieving playing well for the team, and you like the team camaraderie as well. So
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Make perfect sense. So, do you listen to music in the operating theatre, or does the surgeon, or do?
Depends who the surgeon is.
Okay.
Some as anybody in life, some people like music, some people don't. Some people can concentrate listening to music, some people can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I've been doing my uni work and things like that, I can listen with cans on.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm too busy listening to the music and I need to get them off and concentrate what I'm doing. So I suppose that's a fairly good example. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't concentrate. So yes, we do listen to Blue Nation.
Honestly, mate, that blows my mind.
I told you about that.
Yeah, you did. I was going to bring it because was that in? Is that when you came to Wolverhampton? When you surprised us and you came to Wolverhampton with it, KK Steel Mill? You've listened to Blue Nation while operating, which totally blew my mind.
It's only because of the boss Jez, one of the consultants. He loves his music, and just like when you're chatting with anybody, oh, have you heard them? Have you seen them?
Yeah.
So, and I says, oh, you have to listen to these guys.
No way.
So he had to listen to them, to you, Blue Nation, and then I think it was on his Spotify, playlist and that. So all of a sudden you popped up.
Were you like in there doing it, and you were like,
well, yeah, there's in operations, there's points where you're like blinkers are on, and then there's sections where you come out of it.
I've learned so much going through this and talking to you about it. So I hope hope this was all right for you, mate, because I've just been jibber jabbering on. Right, we're coming off work now, mate. We're going to talk about a little bit of music, and I'll let you get back to your afternoon. So, for you, what is your favourite Blue Nation song and why?
Oh. I think "Down by the River."
Yeah.
I'd say it's always my current fave because of what's going on with it. It makes me smile that because I know like I'm ready. Down,
Yeah.
It's that if you were there, you'd be singing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love that interaction sort of at gigs and stuff like that. The actual launch gig as well. That did
was
it
mad.
Me.
Oh, mate. I know.
And maybe that one captured me.
And that night at the Sunflower Lounge when we did the launch, we'd come up with the idea of, in the song when we were writing and recording it, we said, look, if we can get crowd participation, because we'd never done that in one of our songs before, we thought if we do that, it might be really cool. Now, 10 seconds before we broke into that, or at the start of the song when I was explaining it, I had no idea anyone was going to sing it back because you'd never heard the song before, or you'd heard it like a week before or something. When we did that, I've never cried on stage, and it's not just because I enjoy it so much. It's not a sad feeling or anything like that.
You have to cry when you're happy, aren't you?
Oh yeah, totally. But
I think you should do.
Oh mate, that moment, right? So I'm there, and I threw it over to the audience, and it was just deafening, And it's the first time anyone sang our song back to us, in that kind of. And I looked at Luke to my left, and I just saw his lip going. Luke's a softie, as much as he gives it the big, and he's a softie. His lip was going, and I looked at him and I had to start singing again, because if I just looked at him, I would have burst into, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And it just, we're nothing without you, and we know that, and that's why again we wanted to do this and sit down and talk about stuff, because we wanted to shift the spotlight from us onto the people that mean a hell of a lot to us. And I talk loads, mate, and me and you spoke about this loads at gigs and afterwards and stuff, and I love the community we've got and what we've built and what we're chatting every week, and I love the fact everyone says hello to each other. I love the fact that we're talking outside of Blue Nation. It's not all about us, which is what it's supposed to be about.
What about the therapy that you give by doing what you do? I tried to put that silly little speech at the beginning of one Thursday. I tried to get in early doors. I thought I'd pre-done that, you see, because I've been thinking about it, and I banged it in because it's about you give yourself freely. You give of yourself as a person, and I think that comes across, definitely comes across, and I see that in Mimi as well. So I see that as two people are very on the same.
Oh yeah.
And I suppose that's how people of similar mind come together. Maybe
I'm a big believer, as I've said to you, and you and I have spoke about this, about the universe and stuff coming together. There's a reason why I met Mimi, and we're together, and it works. There's a reason I met Luke. There's a reason that Ben and the other lads have been in the band are there. They all have their space and time. And Luke's exactly the same. When we talk about it loads, mate, we talk about the fans and the songs and will they like them? Do we do it? And because we always think that if we just keep giving, people will exactly that. They'll get a release. They'll get some escapism. They will give to other people. They'll feel happier and stuff like that. And do you know what? It's never been about for us, fame, money, all that stuff. It's just the furthest from our mind. It really is.
Here's a question. I'll give you. A question.
How is this turned round now into you interviewing me? Go on, mate.
How are you gonna sort of wean people off Thursdays when things get there?
I'm not gonna, mate. To be honest, I'm gonna keep them going. I've always said, mate, with Life in the Front Room on a Thursday, and I said to the lads as well that when people stop showing up, and stop coming, I'll stop them. Because they've had their fill, and you have to listen to people like you and the fans and stuff that they obviously don't want it anymore. But the numbers get bigger. Sometimes they go down, sometimes they go up. But that doesn't bother me. Yeah. I went into it going, well, maybe if I did this live stream, people can ask me questions, and we can. I know we do this anyway. Break down that barrier between the band and the fans, and just have a Thursday night in the front room, like having a beer or whatever. If there was 20 odd people or 30 or 40 or 50, one week there was 109 people in my front room, that would be pretty busy. So that's a good way to look at it. But I'll stop it when people don't turn up, mate. I think I'm going to keep it going until that happens. And every week it's really surprising, mate. And
remember, it is for yourself a bit as well.
Oh, totally, mate. Yeah,
remember that bit that as much as you give everybody else, it's cathartic for you.
100%. Talk to me about the stuff behind you, mate, because I've got one screen there, one screen there, one screen there. So and it talk me through it what it is while I slurp a drink.
Well,
drum skin.
You met the missus. That's you.
What's the vinyl? Yeah, talk me through that.
The vinyl is Dinosaur Pilot, so that's one of my other faves.
Yes.
Now, have you listened to them?
I can't lie to you. No, I haven't.
This is a bit about me and my sort of like music likes, proper broad, some blues riff, rock and roll that you do.
Yeah.
So that's grunge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dinosaur is like it's not. There's a bit of Nirvana in there. Obviously, you know the cup.
Got the mug, yeah. Got the mug.
Nothing But Thieves.
Oh yeah. A couple of people have tried to turn me on to them. I've heard a couple of their stuff, but I've never gone an in-depth listen. So are they worth me really going into and checking out?
That's the first album. I got hooked on the first album. Not so much the rest of the stuff, but that's a good album. And
cool.
I went there. I got that signed by them.
That's nice. That's what you want.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, just one that seems knocking around.
I'm looking down so I can see what you're showing me. So whose set list is that?
You work it out.
Please. Yeah. Teenage Kicks, that's Teenage Fan Club. Teenage Fan Club?
No. The song.
Teenage K is Teenage Kicks, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is that Fergal Sharkey?
It's from seeing that me and John went to see Undertones in Leeds.
Undertones, but it's Fergal Sharkey, isn't it?
It is, but he won't singer. It was the rest of the band, and I forget who lead singer was. Another Irishman that sounded like him anyway. Another band that I like, Fang Club, F-A-N-G Club.
Fang Club, not heard of them. I'll check. Are they Leeds band or are they?
Irish band.
Irish band, okay.
Irish band, and then
I don't think I've got any more questions for you. I think let's have a look. No, I've learnt so much, mate. So
we've talked over a lot of stuff.
I love it, mate. No, I love it. That's what I say. Thank you so much, mate, for kind of being on here and chatting and wobbling on to me, mate, because I know you don't have to. But yeah, so I'm going to say goodbye to my friend Eugene. I'm going to take you off the screen, mate, if that's all right. So everyone wave to Eugene.
Adieu.
Adieu.
Adieu, Rodney.
Rodney. So thank you, mate. And then I'll say goodbye to everyone.
Hi to everybody from Thursdays. You can see what I look like now.
I love it. Right, I'm taking your video off, buddy. So I'm going to put you off and then do that. So that was the first one, moving the spotlight. That was Eugene, who's a good friend and follows the band. So yeah, tune into the next one, and we'll be talking to another important person within the care NHS charity community. So yeah, thanks very much. Cheers.